everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another royal news video. Although it seems to be somewhat less of the real royal news at the moment because we've had another Jack-in-the-Box surprise appearance from Harry and Meghan. Obviously, Harry didn't get enough publicity at the Aviation Legend Awards, which we know Meghan sat out. Now, thankfully, the reason why she sat out seems to have resolved itself. Meghan reportedly stayed behind because one of the children was too poorly for her to leave them, but she seems perfectly fine to leave them pretty much 24 hours later to take, I think it's an 8-hour flight from California to go all the way to a film premiere in Jamaica. Now, there is absolutely nothing wrong with parents leaving their children to go out. However, the frequency that Harry and Meghan seem to do this and use the children for the weird random excuses doesn't seem to quite add up, especially because Harry has drawn much more attention to this, considering he trashed his father for being rather absentee during his childhood. At least King Charles, or then Prince Charles, was attending engagements on behalf of the Queen and the country. Harry seems happy to leave his children to go on holiday, to go collect awards, to go to Beyonce concerts and Katy Perry concerts, you name it. Harry has got no problem jumping on a plane and leaving his 2 children behind. But thankfully, as I said, the children's sniffles seems to have disappeared and Meghan was able to make an appearance. Personally, I think it's got nothing to do with a sickly child and everything to do with a lack of cameras and maybe some negative coverage that was building up surrounding that particular event because Harry was receiving backlash for collecting an award that he quite clearly does not deserve. Now, as for rumours, I tend to be cautious with these, but I'm going to share a couple with you because I think there might be some truth to them. Now, at the weekend before Harry's appearance at the Legends of Aviation, it was rumoured that Meghan had procured herself a black ball gown. Now, many people had thought and speculated that Meghan, this is when she was supposed to be attending, was going to try and have a moment with John Travolta. We know that Meghan likes to dress like Diana, she loves the comparisons, and I'm sure Harry would even push his wife to do it because he sees her as the reincarnation of his mother. Yes, that makes me ick every single time. Now, the rumours that I'd heard were John Travolta had politely declined. Meghan threw a tantrum. This is why she didn't go and pulled out last minute. And this might be why Harry was a little bit salty towards John in his acceptance speech. That's where I say there might be some truth to it because I've got no idea why Harry was so rude to him, especially the fact that John was the very reason why he was nominated for that award. Now, the other reason why I believe that that rumour has got some truth to it as well is Meghan has turned up in Jamaica wearing an over-the-top black ball gown, a huge skirt. Apparently it's Carolina Herrera. It's a skirt and top combination. Meghan has definitely drawn comparisons from certain Disney characters of the way that she walked into this event. She was massively overdressed, but it makes sense, doesn't it, that why would she have a ball gown? Why would she have purchased such a big dress? Now, it's not like Meghan's not known for overdressing at events. We saw when she went to New York, when she went to that veterans event, when she dressed herself as a big red poppy that matched the carpet. That dress was very, very tight and very, very inappropriate for multiple reasons. Meghan likes to dress like she is a princess. But there was also a massive Hollywood event that you would expect with Harry cozying up to Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos at the Legends of Aviation event, that Harry might have procured a ticket. So obviously that didn't happen. It was a Hollywood huge bash where it was a golden ticket event where everybody wants to be there. Everybody that is on that particular A-list set would be there, that Meghan would sell one of Harry's balls on eBay to get a ticket to. And obviously Harry didn't charm Lauren quite as much as he probably needed to. So it makes sense that Meghan then turns up at this event wearing the huge big black ball gown, because now she's got to write it off against company expenses, no doubt. It looked a little bit ridiculous and out of place, but it wasn't helped by the fact that her husband decided to wear his beach tramp chic outfit. Someone said on Twitter he looked like an extra from Miami Vice. And I have to say, Harry just seems to have an on and off switch, doesn't he? He went to the Aviation Legend Award in a tuxedo, which looked a little bit overdressed. And then he's turned up to this event with his wife wearing a big old princess dress, and he looks like he's just been dragged off the street. Now, Entertainment Tonight were the main media group that they were there, and it would seem that they were only there to cover Harry and Meghan at certain points. Well, they revealed with their reporting that they were told that Harry and Meghan were on a date night. And sure, we had photographs released of Meghan looking incredibly in love, but we can also see that they have a trail of staff behind them. Doesn't really give the whole romantic vibes. And if you're going out for date night, surely there must be a cinema closer to them in Montecito. Now, interestingly, Meghan and Harry, as we know, they now just seem to go from event to event posing for selfies with people. Meghan and Harry decided to, I would say, they gate crashed the carpet at one particular moment when Brian Robbins and his wife Tracy James were having their photographs taken in front of the press pack. Now, Brian is the CEO of Paramount Pictures, which is Netflix's rival. This was a Paramount film premiere, and I find it weird. Why would they have Harry and Meghan there? They are Netflix's top loss, the people that they paid the most to, and got so little in return. Okay, I get it. In the world of films, any publicity, be it good or bad, is still publicity. But surely they could have invited a less controversial couple. Why would you pick Harry and Meghan, who have been labelled as lazy, work-shy grifters? They lost the huge Spotify contract. Big top Hollywood power players have said that these two offer up nothing. They have got no talent. Why would Paramount pick Harry and Meghan to be their guests to promote a film? It's not as if they're exactly of a standard and quality that Paramount would think, oh yes, these would be great, let's poach them, surely. But then saying that, if you watch the body language of when Harry and Meghan decide to gate crash this particular photo op, it seems that Brian wasn't too interested in having his photograph directly with the couple. Brian and Tracy are on the carpet in front of the photographers. Meghan smiles as she slowly walks forward, and Brian is leading the way, walking off, and then Meghan jumps on. Tracy sees her, so she stops and stands back because she can see that clearly Meghan wanted a photo op. But notice that she doesn't move over to let Harry and Meghan stand side by them. Harry's actually having his photograph taken whilst he stood in a bush. Brian does not acknowledge them once, he does not smile at them, and he walks away. Meghan, when she quickly jumped on next to Tracy, puts her arm around her, but see how she doesn't respond in kind, and she actually uses her arm to almost separate herself from Meghan. She looks uncomfortable, and she didn't even look back at Meghan and smile as they then walked off. Meghan clearly clocked the fact that she was ignored by both of them, because you can see her staring after them like, hey, hi. Meghan clearly wanted the photograph with them both, and it makes you think, what is she up to? The fact that she was trying to get cosy with her paymaster's top rival makes me think she's got something up her sleeve. She keeps getting photographed with all these producers and CEOs and Hollywood power players at the events she occasionally gets an invite to. Perhaps she hopes people will begin to believe that she is somebody in Hollywood, just how she used to. She used to go to events, get herself photographed with more famous people in hope that someone might actually sign her and pick her up. It didn't work for her acting career, and I don't think this is going to work with her trying to bulldoze her way into Hollywood. Despite Meghan's OTT gown and jumping on the carpet trying to desperately get the attention of the CEO of Paramount Pictures, these are not the most talked about photographs from the event. No, it's in fact Meghan and Harry cosying up to anti-monarchist and Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness and his wife. The amount of Harry and Meghan's fan base that jumped up and down with glee, screaming, "Look at what you could have had," you hear them all cry out across social media. "Look what you gave up, Britain." Even Omid Scobie, of course, their #1 cheerleader, straight off the bat, "Oh, it's a different vibe." Yes, Omid, it is a different vibe because it's a film premiere. What Omid is clearly trying to make a swipe at was when the then Duke and Duchess of Cambridge visited Jamaica in 2022, where people like Omid was stirring up so much race baiting, even cropping photographs to suit their narratives, they created quite the storm in the teacup. This was off of the back, obviously, of Harry and Meghan, all of the accusations of racism that were directed towards Meghan when she was pregnant, towards her unborn child. She was so racially abused, she wanted to take her life. She couldn't handle it because the royal family didn't protect her and all that bullshit, which has now turned out to be, well, not the truth, as it were. And Harry has even back-dialed and said that his family are not racist. So, Omid, of course it's a different vibe. As I said, it's a film premiere. I'm pretty certain that if Andrew Holness was at another event and he met Catherine and William at a film premiere, he would be polite, he would shake their hands, there would be smiles, it would be how do you do, how's the weather back home. It wouldn't have been the same as what we saw because Catherine and William were on an official state visit. They were invited to the home of the Prime Minister and his wife, and they were representing the Queen and the monarchy. But if Omid wishes to be that petty, I can be that petty too. It's very clear because Juliet, the First Lady, was not smiling, it must mean that she dislikes Meghan as well. I know that Omid was banging that race-baiting drum and trying to stir it up again when he made that comment about the vibe. But at the end of the day, does he really think that if Harry and Meghan had stayed part of the royal family, that it would have had a different outcome if they had visited Mr. Holness in Jamaica on behalf of Queen and country? He would have said anything differently? Does he think that because Meghan is biracial, she would have gone there and Mr. Holness would have turned around and said, do you know what? I don't want Jamaica to become a republic anymore. We're going to stay with the monarchy because one biracial woman has married into it. It doesn't make sense, and it's just ridiculous that he still tries to push this narrative. As I said, Harry has backtracked on all of these racism allegations. It just makes him look stupid and petty. He's probably still licking his wounds due to the backlash he got after Endgame was released and completely destroyed. As for the people screaming, see Britain, this is what you could have had. And I'm thinking, what, royals at a film premiere? We do have members of our royal family who occasionally attend huge film premieres, real red carpets with actual real A-list Hollywood stars in attendance. We have Catherine and William that attend the BAFTAs every year. Catherine always looking truly devastating in whichever gown that she has graced the carpet with. Again, she fits the dress to suit the occasion. But when Catherine and William go to the BAFTAs, one, William is the president of the British Academy of Film and Television Arts, which he has held that position since 2010. But also the BAFTAs is about celebrating British culture in film and TV. And another big difference of when Catherine and William actually do attend film premieres, you don't see them going up to CEOs of these big companies and corporations and directors begging them for voiceover work. Do you know that my wife does voiceover work? I mean, that was really pathetic. But what adds insult to injury why so many people were offended by, well, embarrassed for Harry doing such a stunt was the fact that as Captain General of the Royal Marines, he was actually invited to do his duty and attend a memorial for 11 Marines that had lost their lives. Harry chose, even then, despite the fact that the military means so much to him, to take his wife to pimp her out to Disney executives. Harry reportedly said, I just had to come. Well, we all know why. Even when his father is undergoing medical treatment, his sister-in-law is recovering from an operation. These two are doing their best to claw as much attention as they can. They know exactly what they were doing when they cozied up to Andrew Holness. They are playing a game. They knew that this would cause controversy. It would also get certain people, as I said, stirring the pot and banging those racism drums yet again. Harry and Meghan like to pretend that they're victims of the media, but they play so many games and they think everyone's stupid. And it's just another PR opportunity for them. It's a perfect chance for Meghan to wear an overpriced and overdressed gown, prance around like she's a princess, stake her claim on her prince, and Harry and Meghan can pretend that they're happily married. So as for anyone shouting, oh, look what you could have had, Britain, look what you've lost, they've got absolutely no idea what the royal family do, what they represent. They're basing what they think the royal family should behave like on Harry and Meghan's behaviour. What the real royals do is they use their extraordinary privilege and platform to help others. They give voices to those that do not have them or cannot be heard. They draw much needed public attention to the many plights people suffer in this country and also abroad. The coverage that the royals bring to charities, organisations, startups and communities helps them receive funding, donations, business opportunities that will help them expand so they can help even more people. The real royals and what they do is the polar opposite to what Harry and Meghan are doing. All Harry and Meghan do is take private jets to film premieres, to concerts and award shows. They spend their time cozying up to people for publicity shots. They are now living Meghan's dream life, which is going from one carpet to the next for doing and achieving absolutely nothing, despite having every privilege and every available opportunity to do good in the world. This is what their life has now boiled down to. They are now officially no better than the fake prince that I spoke about in my last video, Prince Mario Max, who goes from event to event, getting his photograph done with celebrities while he scores himself the next tacky TV contract. So the big question I've got to ask is, what exactly were Harry and Meghan doing on the carpet having their very own photo op? They did not direct, produce, thankfully act in this film. There's no links between Archwell Productions and Paramount. In fact, as I've said, they are actually signed with Paramount's rivals, Netflix. People that walk down the carpet are normally people that have had some involvement with the film, and it's obvious why the Jamaican Prime Minister was there. The only links that Harry and Meghan have got to Jamaica is the fact that Harry's been there once or twice on royal visits. And as for Meghan, well, she got married in Jamaica to her first husband, and then she went back to trap her second. Is it a case of what happened at Variety magazine, where Meghan was a +1 at the event and bulldozed her way onto the carpet? Did Harry and Meghan do something similar? Magazines and newspapers are reporting it was a surprise appearance. They were obviously invited by somebody as a guest, but I cannot fathom for any reason why Meghan and Harry would be marching down that carpet. As I said, they had absolutely nothing to do with this film. And maybe they should listen to the message of this film, One Love, where Bob Marley helped change the world, bringing unity, love and peace. And all Harry and Meghan do is weaponise racism, cause chaos, destruction, and of course, division. The only reason why they get invites to any of these events is because of the titles bestowed on them by the very same monarchy that the Jamaican Prime Minister has made it clear that they completely wish to detach themselves from. Now, only if Harry would have the backbone, the cojones, to actually do the same. Give up the titles, give up the dukedom, give up the association to the royal family that he quite clearly loathes and despises. But then I think that we all know that without those titles, without the association to the royal family, that Harry and Meghan will find that they probably won't even receive invites to attend film premieres 3,000 miles away. No, Harry and Meghan will continue to reign supreme as the world's biggest hypocrites, and their decline will continue to becoming little more than D-list tacky party favours. They have truly now stepped into the shoes of their predecessors, who also found themselves on the cold side of the monarchy. So guys, that's it for me. I will be back with you really soon, where we will of course be talking about the real royals. So thanks for now. See you soon. Bye.